There are few cities in the world that have risen and fallen so many times, so dramatically, and over so many centuries. But Baghdad is no ordinary city. Once dubbed the City of Peace, Baghdad is now once again emerging from a dark period in its history. My guide Qutayba will be showing me the sights and sounds of this incredible city. And to negotiate Baghdad's crazy traffic, you need a cool car, and Qutayba definitely has a very cool car. Coming up, there'll be monuments, markets and mosques, tasty falafel, fiery fish and the treasures of the reopened National Museum. Baghdad has spent much of the last 20 years in turmoil, but there are few more resilient cities in the world. There has been a settlement here on the Tigris for nearly 4,000 years. The famous fortified round city from the 8th century developed into the richest city in the world, an epicentre of trade and learning. Then came the sieges of the Persians and the Mongols and the destruction of Tamerlane, not to mention catastrophic floods and plagues. Ottoman rule from the 15th century then gave way to British rule, followed by the regime of Saddam Hussein, followed then by the American invasion, which led to sectarian civil war. If ever a city deserved a period of peace, it's Baghdad. But you won't find much peace on the roads. Don't think of renting a car here. Red lights have no meaning, and there appear to be no rules. All that crazy traffic and not a single scratch on your car. Yeah, it's exactly. A miracle. The mighty Tigris, the river that built a civilization. Although these days, not so mighty, because Turkey is taking quite a lot of the water, and that's a big problem in this area. And if you think that you can see a British-looking clock tower over there, then you'd be right. It is British, one of the most famous landmarks of the colonial era.
We are here in this street. It's called Ashawakis Street. This street is very popular and famous with the tool and stuff of the hunting fish, and there is many kind of fish in this area. Most of these fish came from the Tigris River and the other from the sea. Actually, we grow this kind of fish by this way. It is called mazgoof. They put some soup and salad, some salt. Ice.
When it's 40 degrees centigrade, pomegranate juice, it's the solution. Oh, just gorgeous. As a lover of books, this is somewhere I had to visit. Al-Maidan Street, the bookseller's paradise of Baghdad. No target was off limits during the worst years of the civil unrest. The Mutanabi Street book market, long a symbol of intellectual freedom, was blown apart by a car bomb in 2007. 30 people were killed. The wreckage of the car is now an exhibit at the Imperial War Museum in London. So where are we?
We are right now at Al-Shabindar Cafe, one of the most popular cafe in Baghdad in Al-Maidan Street. This is cafe especially for the owner who has been lost 5 boys at the same time. This was very sad accident for the owner of this cafe by bombing outside of the cafe, and he lost 5 boys at the same moment, at the same time. Yeah, actually, here's many people from different places came to this area and trusting to come to relaxing and have a rest here in this area because it is touch of our culture and historical of Iraq. They provide 2 kind of tea here. One of them Iraqi chai, it is local and normal. The other one, it is dry lemon. It is called in Arabic hamel. It is very tasty.
It's really bitter and yet really sweet at the same time.
At this moment, we are at Al-Maidan Square. This area called Al-Maidan Square, and starting from Al-Rashid Street. All of this area, it is called Al-Rashid Street. It's considered one of the old markets in Baghdad, and then, as you may already know, our weekend is Friday and Saturday, so that's considered weekend and nobody at home. All people around the market and get what they want.
I tell you, half of the buildings around here look like they're going to collapse any minute.
He just trying to sell the apple. He said 1 kilo apple alif, it means 1,000 dinar, and 1 kilo of lemon alif 1,000 dinar, and something like that.
Repeated over and over and over.
I just repeat. We are here at Al market. It is called Souq al-Safafin in Arabic language. This is very popular with the tool and mental of coffee and tea. So we can see wherever you go.
It's quite a surprise to find it here amid the chaos. It is without doubt one of Baghdad's most beautiful buildings. It reminds me of Bukhara and Samarkand in Uzbekistan, but of course it would. It's from the same period.
We are here in Al-Maidan School, one of the oldest university in Baghdad in Iraq. Actually, it's used to a school for religious education, history, geographic, all of kind of science, and it belonged for the Abbasi period. In Abbasi time, there was a university.
You're never far away from being run over in this city. Now it's lunchtime, I don't eat meat, but I love falafel. So
we're going to have a lunch here in Falafel Haidar Dabal, one of the most important and famous falafel in Baghdad. It's really huge and delicious. Let's try. بدون باذنجان بس خلينا.
Wow. Amazing. Is it really hot? An absolute feast for less than $2. We've been driving round trying to catch a glimpse of the Victory Arch, probably Baghdad's most famous symbol, but it's right in the green zone, which at the moment is completely forbidden. Michael Palin was here, but of course he was with the BBC. We sadly don't have the permission to enter the green zone. There were no winners in the tragic Iran-Iraq war, but Saddam nonetheless erected a Victory Arch with replicas of his own hands holding two swords. It stands in the Green Zone, a heavily guarded city within a city, which houses government buildings, embassies and residences of the Baghdad elite, an enduring symbol of the fragile peace in this city. We've come now to the Shia neighbourhood of Al-Qadimiyya, because here you'll find the most important Shia mosque in Baghdad. Now video cameras are confiscated before you get close, so you'll have to take my word for it that the interior is even more stunning than the exterior. Tell me, why is this mosque so important to Shia Muslims?
Actually, Al-Qadimiyya has incredible places here. It's called Musa ibn Ja'far Mosque. one of the 12 Imam of Shia people. So they are very interesting to come from different cities and different counties to visit this Imam, because they believe if they ask God to get whatever they want, if they come here and touch the Imam, the tomb or the grave of Imam Musa ibn Ja'far, they get what they need. We are in Abu Hanif al-Nu'man, one of the most important mosque and imam for Sunni people. Many people from Sunni community follow this imam because they thought he a relative of Prophet Muhammad.
A monument that I was keen to see was the Martyrs' Monument. 2 giant teardrops commemorating both those killed in the war with Iran and now also the Kurdish and Shia victims of Saddam Hussein. Access is restricted, but you can't help but be moved by the significance of this vast sculpture. I wonder what Nabu thinks of modern-day Iraq as he surveys it from his podium outside the National Museum. In the anarchy that followed the American invasion, the National Museum of Iraq was looted. One of the greatest museums in the world was almost completely emptied. It was described at the time as cultural genocide. Now, 20 years later, it's open again to showcase the treasures of Mesopotamia. It's estimated that 15,000 items were stolen. Many have been lost forever, but the work that has been done to reassemble Iraq's heritage is remarkable. The museum houses so many treasures from sites such as Babylon, Hatra, Nineveh and Nimrod that the casual observer would never be able to imagine what had happened here. It may currently lack a shop, a cafe and all the other facilities of its cousins in Paris, London and New York. But make no mistake, this is a world-class museum. You know that fish we saw earlier? Well, it comes in takeaway. Thanks Katiba for fetching this, but I am never going to finish this on my own. Apart from the museum, there is little other evidence of the richness of Baghdad's past. The sanctions over many years have taken their toll, and the city is choked with traffic and sprawls in all directions with little evidence of investment and development when compared, say, to Erbil in Kurdistan. The international hotel chains are still noticeably absent, but some new developments are being marketed, so perhaps the cityscape may be very different in 10 years' time, if the peace can be maintained. But whatever is coming next, Baghdad will keep on going, just as it always has. Exactly what you'd expect from a city where nobody stops at a red light.